Hello, hello. Testing, testing. I think we're live. Let me make sure. Yep. Looks like we are good to go. All right, everything's working. So it's kind of a little bit of a crapshoot. Welcome back to the stream. Today we're carrying on working in ZBrush, kind of learning the I did a not learning. I mean, I sort of understand how ZModeler works. I've just never really extensively used it. So I blocked out this kind of simple lantern here for a stylized diorama I'm working on. And today I'm going to try to use some of the deformers. I think it was a feature they just added either in 4 or 8 or 2018. I don't remember exactly. But I have messed around with them a little bit, but I've never actually like tried to get the actual shape or silhouette of my model with them. So today that's what we're going to be doing. So welcome. Before I get started, I did separate the chain link from the main lantern part. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this so I have a backup. Just in case I don't like what I do. That's always generally a good idea. And yeah, we'll go from there. So let's see here. Kind of want it to be like more cartoony looking or bulgy, I guess. So I think I just want to use some of these deformers. Deformer soft, maybe? Try that. And this is kind of like the Lattice Deformer, or I think in 3ds Max it's called the what was it called? The FFD Deformer. I really don't know what that means. But in Blender, you can do this using a Lattice Deformer. But it's super easy to use it here. You just click the deformer and they kind of tell you what each little arrow does. You can see it pop up down here. This is the Y symmetry and the X symmetry, and then that's the... And I don't think I need symmetry, but I do these divide it. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that should be enough. And then we'll divide it. We'll have a total of 5 that way. I'll do a total of 5 this way. Whoops. Wrong one. There we go. And then you just kind of mask out what you want to manipulate. Oops, I want it the other way. So it works similar to the masking. Technically works the same, just like you're masking a regular object. You can mask these out, or press Alt, Control Alt, and select more to include them in the masking. And from there, you just you manipulate it how you want. I kind of want this to be a little bulgier up top. Let me hide this chain link for now. I want it to be bulgier. I want to bring it down. You know what? I think I want to add more. Let me reset that. Let me just delete that. You can delete it. Let me jump back into the model, make sure I'm on my duplicate, and I want I want to dynamesh this. All right, now I think I'll get a little more flyability, so to speak. It looks like it remembered the settings I had it. So if I mask out the lower part, yeah, now it has a lot more geo to work with, so it's kind of giving it a more natural look, I guess. Make sure that's still polygrouped. Okay, it is. I want that to be a little more bulged. Maybe come down a bit. I think I want to just bring this top part down a little. It's a little too high looking. Let me mask the edges out. I just want to bring the top part down, and I think no, maybe sometimes if I scale it. No. I guess that looks all right. Let's see, I want to do something down here. I kind of want to make the bottom bulge out a little more too. So clear the mask, or maybe mask everything out. Clear the mask. There we go. And then I'll mask out the lower part here. Hit Control Tap to invert that so it's on the part that I want it on. Oops. And then I want to bulge that out, similar to the top. I'm gonna bring the whole thing down a bit more. There we go. Clear that mask. That looks pretty cool. I've always liked the lattice deformers. I've just never made good use of them before. Let's see, maybe do these. So I picked everything except for the corners there. What does that say? Control point. Oh. I think I want to just kind of drag that down a little more. A little pointier there. Yeah, that looks cool. Yeah, it's just kind of give it that like a little more of a stylized look to it. I think I want to stretch this out a bit. That bigger too. Oops. I'm getting. Oh no, what happened? Uh, for some reason it was on the wonder why I did that. I don't know why I did that. Let me make this one bigger and drag it down. Maybe I want the top to be bigger. Let me just scale the whole thing. Oh, I got Alt, there we go. Scale the whole thing down a bit. And scale the top. Bring it up. It's not doing anything weird. Oh yeah, I think I like that. Maybe just make this part a little bit bigger. There we go. That looks pretty cool. I like that. I think that'll work for that part. So when you're finished manipulating it, you just hit that gear and you hit whoop, accept. And it's kind of like in Blender when you hit the when you're in object mode and you hit apply on the modifier, like whatever you have in your little modifier stack. I kind of want to, I don't want to start sculpting yet. I want to try to play around with it a little more. I'm gonna make another duplicate. I'm gonna hop out of that. And I think I want to dynamesh it one more time just to make sure it has nice even the topology. I think I want to try to boolean this into that. And I don't really need to, but I kind of want to find a way to, let me get a different brush. Stops highlighting all the time. I want to find a way to make it look like there's a separation right there. So I think if I group split this, let me switch to this so it's a, oops, that's not the one I want. I want the, that one. That way it's really easy to see the poly groups. You know what? Turn that on. Oh. Oh, that looks good. I like that. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Turn that off. Let me go back to this. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to use this piece as a cutter for that piece. I want to bring this up right below that. And I want to hit start. That's where it's going to start doing a boolean cut. And let me, do I have to turn that on? Yeah, live boolean, turn that feature on. Let me turn dynamesh off. And I think I just tell it, see, that's, should I make the glass cut into that? Difference? That's so cool. I love that. That is so cool. I think I'll do that. What I did was it cut out the actual glass, or what's gonna be my glass, out of the frame on the inside. And I think I want to do the same thing up here. Let's see what happens. So I'll start another one here. And I want to go there like that. And that cuts out the glass out of the top frame. Should I make it so that goes like that? I don't know how to do that. I think let me restart here. I think I need this one to be on the top of the stack. Make that my start. And I want this one to do that? No, that. Okay, that's sort of what I want. I think that's a union. This one. I think that's what I want. So I got the glass part cut out of the top, cut out of the bottom frame, and I think I got it cut out of that. Let me make sure that that's not. Let me oh, hey, how you doing? Compare ZBrush performance with Blender sculpting performance? Yeah, I mean, I could do that. Um, I I don't know if you've sculpted in both. Blender is pretty good for sculpting. I'm just kind of a little more used to sculpting in ZBrush because I actually started using ZBrush before I started using Blender. I do notice that ZBrush can kind of slow down, or not ZBrush, but Blender, when you get to really high poly counts, can slow down sometimes, but it's definitely capable. But yeah, I could do that. I could do like a comparison. To be honest though, I'm not very good at sculpting in Blender. I actually haven't tried it in a long time, to be fair. But yeah, I could do that in the future. Do a little quick comparison video. Sorry, I didn't see you pop up there. For some reason, my chat isn't, it's supposed to make a little sound, but oops, let me go over here. For some reason, it doesn't do it all the time. All right, so let's see here. Let me shoot this up to the top. Go back to this one. All right, I'm gonna make this a boolean and let's see what happens. Boom. Okay, so from what I understand, now I have okay, so now let me insert the U mesh. And we'll select that one and hide everything else. I think it worked. Yeah, I think it worked. Let me see here. Nope, it didn't. Didn't do what I wanted it to do. I wanted this to cut out of that. So I'm gonna have to do it separately. So I'm just gonna delete that. So I'll have to do, yeah, I'll have to do it separately. So I'll have to do, oops. I'll start with the top with this piece. And I'll have to make a duplicate of this one, I think. Let me turn these two off. Start there. What happens when I put this one up one? Or maybe I want this one to be the start. It's a little tricky trying to figure out exactly what you want each one to do. And so I want, that makes it cut out. So I want this. No, I definitely want that to be the start. I want that to be down. I think that's what I want. So I'm gonna do 3 parts. Go ahead and tell it to make a boolean. And go ahead and append second one. Huh. That did not go according to plan. Oh, let me delete that. Yeah, let me just delete this. Or that one's fine. That should work. Let me go back to my main one, a lantern. And up to this guy. So that's the one I want to save, and let's insert the first one. So this is basically just my frame now, my metal frame. And I have my glass down here. I'll just, we'll turn live boolean off for now. I'm gonna shoot that up. I'll just start renaming these so I don't get too confused. That's easy to do once you start getting a lot of subs tools. It's easy to get lost in them. Glass. And what is we'll call this the frame. This will be top glass. And I think that's it for that. And I think that looks pretty decent. Now I'm gonna try to smooth this out without ruining it, hopefully. Let me kind of see how the smooth brush affects it. Oops, you know what? Let me turn symmetry on. Local. I want to really just let me. I mean, I don't mind if it shows up a little, but I don't want that to look so, you know, because it's glass, it's not metal. I don't want it to look so creased. You can't really crease glass like that. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I guess you could. I don't know, to be fair, but I don't think it would have that such a noticeable crease in it like that. I'm not really sure how to do the glass, to be honest. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, that's maybe even a little more. Let me try to let me hit it with the trim dynamic brush a little. Maybe make it a little bigger. Or you know what? Let me hit it with the soft polish. Let's see how that does. Helps a little. Right on this end. Just make sure I'm hitting all the edges. It's kind of uncharted territory for me, so bear with me. But that's, you know, it's kind of the point to learn. You got to do stuff you don't know how to do. Just knock this one down a little more aggressively. Here. Right, that'll work. Yeah, that should work for that. Now I'll jump to the, why isn't it? the metal frame here. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and hit this with the trim dynamic. Symmetry on. I think I'm gonna have to be really careful with this one. It's so thin. I should have made that a little thicker. You know what? Let's get the Sculptress Pro mode going. Just kind of knock these edges down just so they're not so sharp. That generally tends to help with the bakes for the normal maps and stuff. Knock this one down too. You know, because I want to stick with the theme or the idea that this is a lantern and just kind of like a run-of-the-mill outpost, like bar type, you know, inn area, like you would find in a exploring in a MMO like Lord of the Rings or EverQuest. I don't think anybody actually plays EverQuest anymore, but or Elder Scrolls Online. That's a good one. But this, I'm definitely shooting for a style more like World of Warcraft. A little exaggerated. Not quite as cartoony, but definitely drawing the majority of my inspiration from that. Knock that down right there. This one down. Down. No, I wanted to have like a bit of a hammered metal look. Like not crazy because it's a small object and like it obviously would take a bit of craftsmanship, but because it wasn't something that's like a important piece, it's just, you know, if a blacksmith had to make a bunch of these lanterns for the roads of the kingdom, he wouldn't be too worried about making them super pretty, you know. He'd just be worried about getting them done. But he's also got to worry about his reputation, so he still tries to do a good job. That's kind of the theme I've been going with for most of this project so far. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, I only got about 5 more minutes, unfortunately. I was super late today because I was watching that stupid Apple event. I don't know if any of you guys checked it out. Because I was really curious about the new iPads because I have an older iPad and I really want to get the new an iPad Pro when they come out, but I don't want to buy one and have the new one come out in a month. You know, I would be pretty upset if that happened. And I've been kind of looking into it. And the rumors are saying that the new one's it was supposed to be announced today, but now they're saying it's not going to be announced till October, which I still think is weird. But hey, whatever. I guess they introduced some new iPhones, which I really don't care about because they're just way too expensive now. I mean, they look cool, but I mean, the cheapest one starts at $750. And it's like the ghetto model. I think it's funny they like introduce like their real one, like here's the new iPhone. And oh, by the way, we have a ghetto model too. It's like the one you would buy like your kid. Like if you had like a kid going to high school or something, or a kid in elementary school. Like, oh, here's your my first iPhone. I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but it's still $750 for the cheap one. That's the cheap one. But anyways, I have no business talking about that because I am not a phone expert by any means. There are plenty of other guys out there who know a lot more than that. The phones about me out there. But overall, it was pretty cool. I mean, they definitely have some cool stuff going on with their phones. And they did a demo of I mean, we saw it at E3, I think, the demo of Elder Scrolls Mobile or something like that. It's a mobile game in the Elder Scrolls universe. It looked pretty cool. They showed it running. It definitely was running. It had really good graphics. I was very, very pleasantly surprised by that. Kind of working my way around, taking advantage of the symmetry. That's always something to make good use of when you're doing stuff like this. Saves a lot of time. And like knocking down the edges like this is nobody would ever really notice. I do like how it looks like it is one metal piece, like it's kind of welded together. That's kind of nice. I like that about the what's that? What's going on there? Sometimes the Sculptress Pro makes these weird hole looking things, but they're not really anything to worry about. Same thing, just kind of knocking the edges down just so that there's something for the I'm gonna smooth that out right there because I don't want that. Just so that there's a little more information there for the normal maps and the texture maps to grab onto. And I will try to add some surface noise to this, very, very subtly though, just so that, again, just so I can make sure that there's something of interest and something for the normal maps and texture maps to work off of in Substance Painter, which I'm hoping to get this into Substance Painter by Friday, but I have been so slammed at work that I haven't had a lot of time to work on stuff at home. Unfortunately, this is just a hobby for me. I'd love to find a way to make it a full-time gig, but I gotta pay them bills. And I'm guessing a lot of you can relate to that. Because if you're watching this, then you're probably probably at least interested in 3D art and digital art. And would love to find a way to make it a job. Some of you probably are doing it as a job, to be honest. It is pretty fun getting into it. The more I get into it, the more more I find myself doing totally different things when I play video games. I definitely have a higher appreciation for the production quality of some of the games. All right, I got 5 more minutes and then I'm gonna have to call it, so we'll just kind of chip away. And Kadir Arikan was asking if I could do a comparison between ZBrush and Blender, and I guess I could try. But full transparency, I'm not very skilled with ZBrush or with Blender as far as sculpting goes. But I'll give it a try. You know, we can maybe, I do live stream it, so it can kind of be interactive. You guys can ask questions and I can sort of try to do it. I'm not going to do that right away. I want to finish, at least finish this prop first. And then maybe in a week or two, we'll explore that. But I will say right off the bat that I think that both, as far as sculpting goes, you can achieve pretty much the same results. Sorry, the yard workers here at my apartment complex are doing the lawn right now, so that's what that background noise is if you hear it. Yeah, because I've seen guys do amazing stuff. I think right off the top of my head, there's Jan Sculpts, I think. You could check out his YouTube channel. He does a lot of amazing stuff. Zacharias Reinhardt, I want to say. I might be saying that wrong. But he is an amazing ZBrush sculpt or Blender sculptor, excuse me. You know, I just kind of stumbled upon these things when I would watch Blender tutorials. And those are some of the guys that they do more than just sculpt, but they have a lot of like if you're really into sculpting and you have Blender, I highly recommend checking their channels out. And if you're using ZBrush, there's so much. The Pixelogic site has live streams from professionals all the time, and they cover almost anything you could imagine, from stuff for video games, for 3D printing, to doing line art for comics. I mean, the people they have doing the streams are amazing. They're like top of their field. Like there's a Mike Thompson. He does a lot of comic book art, but he uses ZBrush to block his stuff out, sort of, so to speak. I mean, it's definitely a lot more complicated than that, but. And then Shane Olson and Danny Mac. Danny Mac and Shane Olson are two of my favorites because they do a lot of really stylized stuff. But either way, you can't go wrong. The main thing is just whatever you have, just jump in and start using it. That's the best way to learn. I will say don't try to take on too much at once. I think I made that mistake when I first was kind of teaching myself digital art. It's like I want to do everything. You know, I was trying to draw and paint and sculpt and model, and I kind of burnt myself out, and I got really discouraged because nothing was working out the way I wanted to. Everything was just kind of meh. And I think that's good for the I guess I'll do this part. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to attempt to make the glass sort of transparent, but to be honest, I don't know how to do that, but I'll have to research it and learn more about it. But if it's transparent, I want the inside to look the same as far as how it was made and crafted as the outside. Hopefully that makes sense. Down a little more. There we go, little lantern. My chain link go. Probably want to make this bigger now that I maybe even a little bigger. There we go. Let's do a little BPR render. Nice. All right. About 45 minutes. Not bad. All right, gang. I'm going to call it a stream. For those of you who stopped by, thanks. And thanks for the questions and comments. I will try to get to those as soon as I can. As far as the Blender and ZBrush comparison, I will attempt to do that, but like I said, I don't think I'm the person to ask because I'm not very good with sculpting in Blender. But also, like I said, there are guys who are absolutely amazing at sculpting in Blender. It's not a matter of the program per se, it's just a matter of learning the program you're going to use and just doing it. Like I'm barely scratching the surface, and I've definitely got a long way to go before I'm doing stuff that's as cool as some of the stuff you see on like ArtStation, but you know, it's a work in progress. So yeah, I'm going to sculpt some more details on this, some surface noise. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research to see what I can do to kind of make that look like glass. I'm probably just gonna like put a little surface noise on it and then leave it at that. And then I'll do a retopo, UV and UV pack. I'll do all that in Blender. I don't think I'll be able to get that all done by Friday, but I'll try. But anyways, yeah, I'll be back on Friday. Hopefully around 11 o'clock, give or take. So yeah, stop by. I'll probably be in the retopo process still. So if you're interested in catching some retopo action, feel free to stop by. Found the video useful, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for coming by, everybody.